On the news, trader count losses as fire raises Abuja market. NEC approves board members for NDPHC. And federal government rolls out 1 trillion naira palliative, a massive construction project. Now on the news, I'm Tamilore Akinkolye. The National Economic Council (NEC) has approved the nomination of 6 state governors to the board of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company (NDPHC). The appointed governors represent Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones, hailing from Borno, Katsina, Imo, Ekiti, Kwara, and Akwa Ibom states. The 142nd NEC meeting, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, featured key updates and recommendations from various ad hoc committees. Now, one significant presentation comes from the ad hoc committee on flood erosion, drought, and desertification, led by Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo. The committee emphasized the need to revitalize state emergency management agencies and enhance coordination between different government levels.
Today we had an economic council meeting discussing national issues as it affects the nation. My own committee is an ad hoc committee set up by NEC on flood, erosion, drought, and desertification, which was reconstituted on 22nd of February 2024 to develop a comprehensive and actionable roadmap and strategy to mitigate the impacts of natural disaster as it affects our people in Nigeria by profiling recommendations on how best we can prepare and respond to 2024 rainy season. It will interest you to know that today the committee have submitted its report with recommendations to the council, and I'm happy to let you know that the council has approved the recommendations, and Mr. President is quite happy about the report, and he has promised to look into the report with its recommendations for immediate implementations.
Still at the NEC meeting, President Bola Tinubu directed state governors to submit comprehensive plans for boosting food production within 7 days. As part of effort to alleviate economic challenges and improve food security, President Tinubu unveiled the National Construction and Household Support Program. The program aims to provide 50,000 naira monthly grant for 3 months to 100,000 families in each state. Additionally, 155 billion naira will be allocated for assorted food distribution, and 540 billion naira will be directed towards household grants. Each of the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory will receive 10 billion naira for compressed natural gas CNG buses. This initiative, estimated to cost over 1 trillion naira, underscores the administration's commitment to mitigating hardship and enhancing food production, according to the president. Now, earlier on, I spoke with Julius Oga, an entrepreneur, on the impact of the food palliative on the economy. And I began by asking him how ramping up food production in each state would help improve food security in Nigeria.
The state of food production is actually being, if you like, it's been challenged by the climatic situation around the world. You know, climate change is presently a global problem. Has always been, and it's aggravating and it's affecting us in diverse ways. Also, I would say that insecurity in Nigeria remains fundamentally a problem across agricultural production areas, especially in the north. And it's no longer just in the north, it's also spreading to so many other parts of the country, almost virtually everywhere. If insecurity of farmer in its broadest possible conceptualization, insecurity It's not just no longer only an issue of bandit attacks and farmer header clashes and all of that. It's also communal crisis. When it is farming season, that is also the time communities in other far-flung places that are usually not in the news are very well out of the scope of media coverage. This is when communities begin to have clashes over ancestral lands. That is also going to affect food production.
Now, how would you assess the current state of food production in Nigeria, and what are the primary challenges faced?
Every state government is just paying lip service to agricultural production, and that's both everyone no good because agriculture is a huge employer of labor. And if states were to be engaged, then they will be addressing so many problems at the same time. They will be addressing the crisis of food shortage, they will be addressing the crisis of unemployment, and they will be addressing unemployment as a fallout of joblessness, which leads, weak-minded people into crime. So they will be also reducing crime.
All right, so lastly, before I let you go, how can the proposed grant and financial support be utilized effectively to support food production initiatives?
Those are huge sums, if you ask me. They are huge sums, and if they were to be deployed for the purpose for which they are meant, they will invariably, throw up a lot of economic activity, and our economy will improve in a not too distant time. But we know that these pronouncements are often made by politicians to achieve predetermined ends. They make these pronouncements actually without being intentional in making those pronouncements, without having, the zeal, the drive to make these things work. They just bandy about huge numbers, huge amounts of financial resources, and then you discover they just disappear into thin air. We've been experiencing this. Government had disbursed palliative money to state governors, and as we speak, I'm yet to meet a single individual that will say, I have gotten something that was given to me by my state government. Government disbursed food palliatives in the beginning of the year to ease inflation and hardship on people. And what we saw in the social media and what we saw in some media, actual real-time media coverage, where people receiving miserly grains on the streets lining up to receive miserly grains. This is not what is intended. It doesn't achieve anything.
That was Julius Organ, agro-entrepreneur, speaking on the recent directive given by President Tinubu to state governors to boost food production in the country. Moving on, military retired personnel can now breathe a sign of relief with the launch of an electronic verification management system application. This new system is set to replace the traditional physical verification process previously used by military personnel board. Now, Air Vice Marshal Paul Uweresin, chairman of the Military Pensions Board, officially declared the electronic verification exercise open. He stated that this innovation responds to retirees' complaints about the cumbersome and challenging nature of the physical verification process, especially given their advanced age. He urged all pensioners to participate actively in the new electronic system, warning that those who fail to comply will have their position withheld.
As the chairman of the Military Pension Board, I hereby declare the Military Pension Board electronic verification exercise officially open on full scale for our retired pensioners for a period of 3 months, starting from 1st July to 30th September 2024. Finally, the board wishes to advise all pensioners to take active part in this exercise, and those of them that will fail to take part in this exercise will not get their salary going forward. The exercise is going to be very perfect.
And Vice President of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS Commission, Damien Chinchin-Bijan, has issued a call for unity and strategic action in response to the recent withdrawals of Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali from the organization. Speaking at the 35th meeting of the Committee on Administration and Finance in Abuja on Friday, Chinchin-Bijan emphasized the critical importance of maintaining regional cohesion for sustained development and integration efforts. In his address, he acknowledged the challenging circumstances criticized by significant regional and global uncertainties. He, however, cautioned that these withdrawals could potentially undermine the region's ongoing integration initiative and pose obstacles to economic and social progress.
The withdrawal of our 3 member states calls on us to look at the situation and then do everything possible to maintain a circular union, a brotherly solidarity and inclusive cohesion. Beyond the negative impact and imbalance that will be created on our integration process, it would also greatly compromise our achievements and economic and social prospects. This withdrawal, which shows that our institute would also impact on our community's efforts at formalization through the community levy. With regards to the community levy, I would like to recall that this remains the primary source of funds for ECOWAS activities. The community levy makes it possible for community institutions to implement projects and programs within the community. The community levy is therefore a development tool which will serve the community and which will make it possible for strategic choices to be made and which would consolidate our independence in preparing development policies. This is why I would like to launch an appeal to all member states so that they would conform and comply as soon as possible to all the provisions of the Community Levy Protocol.
A massive fire has ravaged Cairo Market in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, leaving traders devastated as their goods and livelihood went up in flames. The incident occurred around 7 p.m. on Thursday night, causing significant damage to the community as a large portion of the market was reduced to rubble. Our correspondent Folashade Olusegun has more on the story from Abuja.
The fire spread nothing on its parts, consuming shops and goods in them. And before it could be put out, it had done a lot of damage. Many of the traders say they had stocked millions of naira worth of goods in their shops before the fire incident.
Yes, as of yesterday, we have two warehouses. I lost one. So, estimation of the goods in that very particular warehouse was at the rate of 7.5 million. So, with other people that lost fortune. When I'm talking of money, we lost money yesterday. So, nobody is happy.
When we came, nobody can enter. So we couldn't enter in the yesterday evening again. My land died 8. That's why the thing happened, but we don't know how it happened. We just see the light. I even reached home before I had it.
If I calculate, you go reach like 5 million. The thing when you burn for our shop. But everything, this thing, just live for God now.
If the government of the Confederation called Nigeria will come to our aid, that's all I have to say. If they could come, but if it's an advanced country, you see them coming up to assist the marketers. But to here, our country, we've never seen like that. If they come this time, it will be of good help to us.
Everything is somehow hungry everywhere. You can even see people are dragging born rice, born things, beans, many things. People are dragging it because of hungry. People, goods are born. Many people cannot even pick something. Like the other side now is way out. They just brought a truck of trailer at us 3 days ago. Before yesterday, the thing got fire.
Emergency agencies said they had responded promptly, but faced challenges due to the market structure.
The place where the fire occurs happens to be
at the parts of the fire, the market where they have what we call unplanned structures. And because it is outside the main market, it was very difficult for us to assess the seat of the fire. And because of the difficulty in attending to it, the fire escalated. In this modern age, there's no way you can have a fire service without water. Why? Because for every of our appliances, we have a backup of a water tanker. Behind me now is a 10,000 liters of water that is just storage for use should in case of any emergency. And while Julius Berger were on their way yesterday, they came with 30,000 liters of water. People are bound to their grief because they have lost, some of them they have lost their businesses, some of them they lost their earnings. They are bound to come up with statements that will probably buy the support of the public.
It's still not known what caused the fire, but emergency responders suspect a power surge could have been responsible. As of the time of this report, the owner of one of the warehouses, who had just offloaded 2 trailers of rice, was said to have fainted upon hearing the news of the fire and sadly passed away this afternoon due to the shock.
Scavengers have now descended on the room, scavenging for anything valuable they could place their hands on. But for traders and shop owners, they are in total despair. Their livelihood reduced to ashes. This incident has raised urgent questions about market safety and the effectiveness of emergency response system in the area. Reporting for TV 360 Abuja, Folashade Olusegun.
News now will now go on a break here, but still to come, panic engulfs Democrats after Biden's stumbling presidential debate. Details of the story after this break. Welcome back. Now here's a recap of our top stories. A fire engulfed Cairo Market in the Federal Capital Territory Abuja around 7 p.m. on Thursday night, leaving traders in despair as their shops and livelihoods were destroyed. The fire razed a large portion of the market, consuming shops filled with millions of naira worth of goods. Emergency agencies responded promptly but faced challenges due to the market's structural complexities. While the cause of the fire remains unknown, authorities suspect a power surge. We also told you that at a recent NEC meeting, President Bola Tinubu directed state governors to submit comprehensive food production plans within 7 days. To address economic challenges and improve food security, he announced the National Construction and Household Support Programs, which includes 50,000 naira monthly grant for 3 months to 100,000 families in each state and lot more. This initiative, costing over 1 trillion naira according to him, highlights the administration's commitment to alleviating hardship and boosting food production in the country. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime's World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. It's now time for business news, and Okpeyemi Owosheni is on standby for business. Over to you, Okpeyemi.
Thank you, Tamilore. Welcome to Business News. The federal government says the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has concluded its 120-day regulatory reform accelerator action plan aimed at improving Nigeria's business environment. And this was disclosed at a town hall meeting at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja, hosted by Vice President Kashim Shettima. The Senior Special Assistant to the President of PEBEC, Taiwo Ajetumobi, who presented the RRA Action Plan report, said other indicators are transparency reforms, efficiency reforms, entry and exit reforms, port operation reforms, agro-export reforms, and manufacturing for export reforms. The reforms, according to him, concentrated on 8 key indicators, including reviewing and updating service level agreements. Still in the world of business, the federal government has said the disbursement of 150 billion naira loans to micro, small and medium enterprises and manufacturers will commence by the end of July 2024. It also disclosed that 60% of the proposed 1 million beneficiaries of the presidential conditional grant had received the financial grant of 50,000 naira without repayment obligations in the 774 local government areas of the country. Now, in December 2023, the federal government unveiled the Presidential Conditional Grant Scheme as part of the Presidential Palliative Program aimed at supporting businesses to navigate the economic crunch caused by government policies. The fund dedicates 75 billion naira to MSMEs and another 75 billion naira to the manufacturing sector. We'll go on a short break and be back with Stock Market Report. Welcome back. Nigeria's stock market recorded another session of positive close, though on a relatively lighter note following gains seen in few counters. Now, the stock market recorded 3 days of positive sessions as against 2 days of negative closes in the trading week ending Friday, June 28. The market rose by 0.67% as investors bought Ikeja Hotel, Mutual Benefit, and other major advancers. Now, leading the gainers, we have United Capital PLC with a 9.96% share price appreciation, closing at 26 naira 50 kobo per share. It is followed closely by Lasaco Assurance. Now, for the market summary, when compared with the previous NGX trading day, that's Thursday, June 27th, today's data shows about 4% decline in volume, 6% decline in turnover, but 4% improvement in deals. Now, for our foreign equities, the U.S. stocks were moderately higher after the S&P 5,000 Nasdaq each record highs in early New York trading. Well, it was also the same case for the Asian trade as well. The UK market, however, maintained a bearish trade to close at 0.19%. Let's take a quick look at our foreign exchange market. The dollar traded at 1,525 naira on the black market as against the official market, while the Great British Pound traded at 1,920 naira on the black market. The euros also traded at 1,600 naira on the black market as against the 1,623 naira 48 kobo recorded on the official market. Well, that's it for both business and stock market reports. Back to you, Tamilore, for the rest of the news.
Thank you for that update, Okpeyemi. Now, on the global scene, Joe Biden gave a stumbling performance in a 90-minute showdown with Donald Trump, the first televised debate of the 2024 presidential election campaign. Democrats expressed concerns at the president's performance, with party insiders saying his early answers triggered panic. Now, top Biden allies said the campaign team overworked the president, and senior White House officials said they are meeting to discuss options. But Vice President Kamala Harris has defended President Joe Biden, saying it was a slow start, but there was a strong finish. Still on the global scene, a roof at Delhi airport has collapsed after heavy rain, killing 1 person and injuring 8 others. Videos online show huge pillars supporting the roof smashing into cars parked along the airport terminal. Now, airport authorities said all flights from the terminal have been suspended until further notice. Officials said 4 vehicles were damaged and 8 people received minor injuries in the incident. Now, India's aviation regulators have advised airlines to accommodate passengers on alternate flights or offer them refunds. And on sport, former Wimbledon champion Andy Murray and Novak Djokovic have defied injury concerns to confirm their participation in the upcoming Grand Slam tournament. Andy Murray, who clinched the Wimbledon title in 2013 and 2016, had been expected to miss the tournament after undergoing back surgery last week. Now, despite these concerns, the 37-year-old Scotsman will compete, marking what is likely his final appearance at the All England clubs. Murray, now marked 115 globally, had surgery to address a spinal cyst after experiencing significant issues during the Queen's Club Championship. Similarly, Novak Djokovic, also 37 years, is set to compete despite recent knee injury surgery following a serious injury at the French Open tournament. And still on sport, UEFA has removed Spanish referees Argando Hernandez and Jesus Marenzo from officiating duties at Euro 2024 following multiple complaints about their performance. Hernandez, who was serving as a VAR official, faced significant backlash for dismissing Scotland's penalty claims in their 1-0 loss to Hungary. Similarly, Marenzo came under scrutiny for a critical error during France's 1-0 victory over Austria. Alongside them, assistant Diego Barbero Sevilla and Angel Nevado Rodriguez have been also sent home. This decision leaves Martinez Morena as the sole Spanish representative remaining in the tournament, continuing his role as a VR official. And that wraps up our bulletin on news now. Many thanks for watching. I'm Tamilore Akinkwole. See you again next time.